The life of a weedy sea dragon is more valuable to Australia's Health Minister than the lives of thousands of victims of Australia's deadliest medical scandal, contaminated blood. G'day, my name's Charles Mackenzie. I'm the President of Infected Blood Australia. And today I'm responding to Australia's Health Minister, Greg Hunt. He made a Facebook post, and if you can bear with me for just 20 seconds or so, I'll just read it. This is from the Health Minister of Australia, Greg Hunt. There is great concern for the future of Flinders Pier and the welfare of the weedy sea dragon that inhabits its undergrowth. I have written to the Victorian Minister for Ports and Freight to make her aware of the concerns held by many in the community. At this time, I'm still awaiting a response. So our nation's health minister is awaiting for a response from someone in the Victorian government about the future of a weedy sea dragon that lives in the undergrowth of a pier. Well, I think that is a very beautiful creature, and I absolutely love wildlife. We've had a lot of death in our group in Infected Blood Australia, and it's made me very appreciative of nature, I can tell you. I don't know why that is, but it has. So I share Greg Hunt's concern for the marine environment of this sea dragon. The reason I'm making the video today is because our group has written to our nation's health minister for years asking questions about Australia's deadliest medical scandal, contaminated blood. We've got parents who lost children that write to Greg Hunt asking questions, and he doesn't reply. His staff reply with a sort of usual generated email, which is that he's not going to do anything. And so there's no counselling for thousands of Australians, all their families, who are infected with hepatitis C as a result of contaminated blood transfusions or infusions before the years 2000. It is Australia's deadliest medical scandal. There may be some people watching in Canada. They had exactly the same contaminated blood scandal in the 1970s and 80s. They had an inquiry in the 90s. It found massive wrongdoing. Those victims and their families are helped. In Ireland, anyone watching Ireland, we've got friends there. G'day, I love your country. They had an inquiry. And that was 20 years ago. It found massive wrongdoing, and it's made help available for families. And now the UK, they've found massive wrongdoing. There's an inquiry right now. It's the UK's largest ever. It's called the Infected Blood Inquiry. They found out just recently, or victims have known for years, as have campaigners, that they're actually knowingly, the British government were knowingly experimenting on children. And they're basically referring to the lives of children as being worthwhile to test on because they were cheaper than chimpanzees to test on. They actually said this. This has come out of this inquiry in the UK. The exact same scandal that happened in Canada, that happened in Ireland, that happened in the UK, that's now being investigated and exposed, happened here in Australia. We're writing to Australia's health minister. People are dying. We've got people in our group that are dying of cancer. They've told me to say this. I don't like to use the term dying. I don't like to use their suffering or the family's suffering. I also am losing power in my muscles, having been a contaminated blood victim for all my life. We're running out of time. And so we write letters to Greg Hunt and we're ignored. And can that even be lawful that an Australian health minister would ignore us? Apparently he is friends with David Attenborough, the very much loved British BBC documentary maker who is into, of course, nature. He's a fantastic fellow, David Attenborough. Perhaps the British David Attenborough could ask his friends in the Australian government that whilst the sea dragon's future is very important, we've been paying taxes for our government to lawfully respond to victims and their families. We've got children who lost parents. These children are now growing up with far less than they would have had if their parents had been allowed to live, their parents being contaminated blood victims who died. Their only fault was having a faith in people like Greg Hunt and in our government. This must be criminal. We're appealing to people overseas in Canada, Ireland and the UK. Please stop Greg Hunt from treating us this way and making it clear that whilst he cares about sea dragons, he doesn't give a single damn about all the harm that his government's causing. It must be criminal, and we're going to take him to court. What a mess. Thank you.